Welcome back to our Fitness Myths That Need to Die series, where we take the old, the outdated, sometimes hilarious fitness myths and finally put them to rest. You've heard 2 episodes of the podcast so far. This is the 3rd. Guys, let's get into it.
Welcome to the CrossFit Edwardsville Community Podcast, where we hear and learn from our coaches, CrossFitters, and Glen Ed community leaders. Now, here are your hosts, Dallas and Greg.
So having been in the fitness space for the better part of 2 decades, I've heard all the fitness things. I've heard all of them a million times. And some of these fitness myths are real persistent. They're real sticky. They just won't die until now. In previous episodes, we've talked about some of the most common ones, like lifting weights makes women big and bulky, or sweating more means you're burning more fat. In this episode, we'll myth bust 2 more of the most common fitness myths, starting with let's selectively tone our muscles. Here's what I mean when I say let's selectively tone our muscles. Toning is one of those words that is very, very popular amongst women in particular. And I don't say that to throw shade. I really don't. But when you actually dive in to the word toning, what that actually means is very, very nebulous and hard to define unless you look at it like, because I've actually heard other fitness professionals describe it that toning might just be considered a muscle that is contracting so you can see that it's working. I've thought about this a lot. And I think that we can actually simplify the concept of toning even farther. When people say they want to be toned, I think what they're actually saying is, I would like for my muscles to be more visible. I would like to have lean muscle tissue visible on me, where if I'm wearing something that does not have sleeves, people can see muscle on my arms, see muscle on my backs. If I have a racerback thing on, they can see muscles in my calves and my thighs. And to make that happen, there's 2 pieces of the puzzle, 2 sides to the coin. First, it's actually having lean muscle, which is partly a function of having resistive training, weights, dumbbells, barbells, kettlebells, bands, as a way of promoting the existence of lean muscle tissue on your body. And simultaneously, and just as important, it's taking body fat off of those same body areas so that you can actually see that muscle. It's not concealed underneath a layer of fat. It's not concealed, or the nice, defined, toned, quote unquote, edges that you're looking for are not dulled or concealed by fat rounding off the edges for you. No, you have to simultaneously subtract body fat as well as promote the existence and the quality, the creation of having that lean muscle tissue both. I think that's what people are actually talking about. But toning itself doesn't actually mean anything unless we're talking about that body recomposition to where you can actually have a certain kind of look. And I think that is what people are actually talking about. So hopefully that busts a myth about toning muscles. That's the first one. Let's get to our second one of the day. Your workouts must be random to confuse your muscles. Now, this myth is especially common amongst people that are early into their CrossFit journey, where the idea of constant variance is misconstrued. Here's what I mean when I say that. In CrossFit world, we embrace the idea of constant variance to our workouts. We change the number of reps, the number of sets, the exercises that we use, the modalities that we use, the equipment that we use, like how long, how short our workouts are. We vary a lot of these variables on the day-to-day basis. Firstly, because it's actually really valuable in terms of our longevity with exercise, to stay interested and engaged and psychologically connected to exercise, or to put it another way, just not getting bored. Keeping us from getting bored is one of the most important things that we can do in fitness world, or to put it this way, that coaches can do for you. Make it interesting and mix it up and keep it varied on a regular basis so that you never get bored with your fitness. There's real value to that. And there is something to the idea of your body will continue to respond and adapt if you don't let your body adapt to doing the same thing over and over and over. There's a lot of truth to that. Where you don't want to get it confused is that in an intelligently designed exercise program, including in CrossFit world, should not be an exercise in randomness. These should not be random workouts where it looks like there's no clear structure, no clear progression, no clear design. The coach just throwing things at the wall, seeing what sticks. If the exercise program that you're following looks like you have an ADD coach that is constantly just inventing things that amuse them, that may not be a really good CrossFit program to be a part of. Because again, a smart program, a well-designed program is not random. It's not a hopper constantly. Let's just put a whole bunch of things into a hat, shake it up and draw them out. No, there would actually be progression, structure, evolution of load, volume, intensity, consideration of load, volume, intensity elements, consideration of interference. Doing some exercises on Monday can make it a bad idea to do certain exercises on Tuesday. Having a balance of stimulus to your body across a week, across a month, across a year is actually really, really valuable, not just to your advancement of your fitness as a person, but also to your safety, your orthopedic safety, the longevity of your muscles, your tendons, your ligaments, and your ability to engage the program psychologically and not get burned out. A smart coach, a high quality programmer writing your workouts will account for these variables, and you should know that too. So 2 more myths we tackled today. Number 1 is we're going to tone our muscles, selectively tone our muscles is one, and another, your workouts must be random to confuse your muscles. But there's so many more. Tell us some common myths that you hear. Tell us in the comments down below, and we'll tackle those in the next episode of the series. But for now, it's Coach G out. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for listening to my dad's podcast. For more useful tools and guidance, go to CrossFitEdwardsville.com and feel free to like, share, subscribe, and leave your thoughts in the comment section.